California, near Hauser, in front of Culture Interiors, 5406 West Pico Boulevard. Again, this is Los Angeles, California. And we're going to go inside and speak with Sam Pace, a true legend, pioneer, and hero of the community. He has some of his artwork inside, and I believe we're going to get a chance to talk to him. At the same time, I'm Kreger, and this is the Original Warrior Association Foundation, and it's our show for today. Thank you.
Here, Sam Carbis, Edulino, Kreger.
Sitting here at Culture Interiors, 5406 Pico Boulevard, with the legendary, pioneering, one of the true heroes of the community, Sam Pace. Incredible artist, and we're here looking at some of his artwork and amazed by the artistic and creative genius of this man. Sam.
Thank you guys for coming, and the work and viewing the work. I'm not sure what I should say, but you need to ask me some questions.
Yes. Sam, I just want to find out, my first question is, what gives you the most joy when you are creating your artwork?
Listening to the music and trying to make my ideas and my vision come across to express my vision to for other people to see. If I can do that, then that makes me happy. And generally, when I come up with an idea, it never turns out the way it starts out, but it's a process. I don't know if a process of creativity would be the proper word for it, or proper expression, but just creating it, and it's like children, you know. Once you start the process, and once they're grown or finished and they're grown up, then you send them on their way and you start on another project. You know, the creative process is the part that I like, and listening to music and drinking a little wine and relaxing. That's the best part of it, of the process for me.
I guess it kind of answered a little bit of the other question. Was I wanted to ask you what inspires and motivates you when you do your artwork, and I guess it's the music and just putting yourself in that frame of mind, listening to some really wonderful jazz. And I know that you're really totally into jazz, and what and who motivated you to start listening to jazz?
My parents. My mother was a big jazz fan, and my dad was mainly blues. He listened to a little jazz due to my mother, but I got that from both of them. And as I got older, I got more and more and deeper into it. And now it's my mission to keep it alive, and it's America's classical music, and I don't want to see it die, and so it's my way of keeping it alive. I can't play music, so this is my way of creating and keeping it going.
When I look at your artwork, I obviously see that jazz influence, in particular a piece like this. Could you tell me a little bit about that particular piece?
It's a piece on Lester Young. Lester Young was a saxophone player in the 30s, 40s, and he's the one that gave Billie Holiday the name Lady Day, and they were close friends. So I have a little collage picture of Billie Holiday. She's one of my favorite musicians too, and it's my homage to Lester Young. He's up in heaven now, so he's got the wings to go with it, and he's playing to Billy.
Beautiful piece, and again, you know, it shows that your inspiration, you're inspired by, you know, a wonderful creative genius himself, who discovered another creative genius. And let's go next to that piece in the middle, which was another legendary creative genius, was Jimi Hendrix. What gave you the motivation to create that piece?
I like Jimmy. Ever since he came out, he was a visionary. His music, when I was a teenager in high school, my dad would always tell me to turn it down, and I'd always crank him up. And I've always liked Jimmy. He was blues influenced, and you know, most people think of him as a rock musician, but I see him as more blues. So it kind of fits into what I do and what I listen to, and I still like Jimmy. So he was a big influence, and his face was always. I always like to. Him and Miles have a unique face, and so I always try to capture it, which doesn't work all the time, but I shoot for that.
We know, obviously, the history of a great man like Jimi Hendrix, who obviously left us way too soon, but his influence is everlasting, even today. Next to this piece, you have another piece, and I believe that would be John Coltrane. No? Charlie Parker. Okay, so I'm a little, you know, please forgive me, but this piece is wonderful. Totally educate me.
Yeah. That's Birdland, as you can see. And Charlie's nickname was Bird, and I put the birds in there as a homage to him, and he's one of my favorite tenor players too. So, in fact, he's playing now. Yeah.
I was going to ask you who was that playing in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Is that one of your pieces that we're listening to?
no, I wish it was.
Sam, I wanted to ask you another question. I think for our youth of today, you know, we really want to know who, you know, to you was the most influential person that you can think of in your life.
My life, probably my father. You know, my parents were a big influence for me. You know, and my art mentor, who was Bill Pasho, and he passed last week, as a matter of fact, at 89. He was a big influence, and his motto was, you gotta do something every day. You know, you gotta, and whenever I saw him, he had a pen or brush in his hand, and he was working. He worked. And if he wasn't working, he was asleep, you know. And he was, as far as art goes, he was a big influence on me.
Well, my, you know, heartfelt condolences on the loss of obviously a great man, You know, they say that, you know, the great teachers of great men, and he was one of them. What was the most memorable moment, you know, of your career as an artist?
That's a good question. Hopefully, there's more to come. Um, I don't know. I can tell you what is seeing my art in the collection of the Kissingers, and they have a gallery dedicated with called the Sam Pace Gallery, and I was floored when I saw my work inside their gallery, and they're in Vancouver, Washington, and they're music jazz promoters, and they put on jazz festivals, and they have been collecting my art over the years, and I just didn't realize how much they had until they invited me to see the gallery, and that floored me. That was the most impressive so far to this date. That was the most impressive thing that's happened to me so far.
Wow, that's pretty deep. You're talking about the Kissingers, and they have great taste, obviously. So, I really want to ask you one more question, and of course we can go on and on and on. Your career as an athlete, a lot of people don't know you were a world champion martial artist and kickboxer, full contact, one of the pioneers, and we like to call one of the immortals from Jerry Smith's stable. Excuse me, and I wanted just one more. I know this is not like it's an epitaph, as it were, but if you could write your life story today, what would the title be?
That's a good one. I don't know. I don't know what the title would be. Along for the ride, I guess. Yeah. I couldn't say. I couldn't say. Hopefully, I wouldn't have to write it too soon. Yeah, yeah. But hop on the bus and go along for the ride because it's a long journey.
And it seems to be a long, fruitful journey for you so far. I mean, I would consider you a Renaissance man, just a wonderful man. Actually, one of my heroes. And I want to thank you. Again, we're here at the Cultural Interiors here on 5406 Pico Boulevard, a wonderful place here. And the community, you need to come out and see this wonderful, wonderful place here. And I am Kreger, and I'm here with Sam Pace, and we want to sign off the Original Warrior Show. Who?
Like, oh, you're
No, did I tell you I dreamt that Steve Martin was a pickle and I get mouth to mouth? Did I tell you that? Please edit that out.